Hello everyone and welcome back to TowerGate. It is TowerGate day number 708, 708, Friday, March the 1st, 2019. Oh, I'm so glad March is here. Although, we had a little bit of snow last night and we're supposed to be getting some cold weather and a snowstorm Sunday night. So, who knows? Yes, it's March. And spring's coming, but it's not here yet. At least if you live in the Ohio Valley. So, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. Well, if many of you saw my video from yesterday, you know pretty much what I said about the summit with Trump and Kim Jong-un. I said I really find it very, very hard to believe that Kim Jong-un or North Korea is going to agree to give up their nuclear weapons. And I'm really, but when you listen to Trump, I mean, in Pompeo, this is what they want. They want North Korea to give up their nukes. And again, if they can accomplish that, it will be an absolutely extraordinary thing. It just seems like it's a very, very difficult thing to do. It's a major, major step forward. It's the whole pie, and I imagine that Trump is making the argument that if you'll give up the nukes, here's what we can do. We can turn your country into an economic powerhouse. You've got this. Trump's pointing out all the benefits and of a market economy and all these sorts of things, and how he could make North Korea great again, or help Kim Jong-un make North Korea great again. And I think that the basic flaw in this idea is that Kim Jong-un and the North Koreans are interested in making North Korea great again. They are interested in staying in power and making sure that they don't get bombed by the United States. Now, maybe they trust Trump will not do that, but they don't know who's going to be the president after Trump. And I understand their concerns. I would certainly be 100% on board with Trump and Pompeo if they actually believe that they've got something that they can dangle out there that would make Kim Jong-un say, yes, I'm going to give up my nukes to get that. But I don't think Kim Jong-un cares a lot about the people starving to death in his country. I don't think he cares really all that much about that. I really don't. I think he's pretty much cares about staying in power. And even if he did want to cut this deal, can he go back to these hardliners in North Korea who are hardcore commies, who served under his father's administration, many of them? Can he go back there and say, yeah, we're going to give up our nukes and cut a deal, and then we're going to become a free market economy? They don't know how to do that in North Korea. Yeah, he can say Trump's going to help. I just think it would be a tough sell. I don't know that he would survive being taken out in a coup in his own country if he came back with that. I'm not sure it's politically possible for Kim to make these decisions. Yes, he's the dictator in North Korea, but, dictators are deposed. Dictators are taken down in coups. I just think this is very, very difficult, and I don't know how you get Kim and the North Koreans to give up the nukes. But again, maybe Trump and Pompeo think they have a sweet enough deal to offer to that they feel that Kim would do that. But at this point, just as I predicted, that did not happen. He's not prepared to do it. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe in a year from now, 2 years from now, Trump gets reelected. Maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, maybe at the end of his second term, maybe they finally reach some sort of an agreement. And I credit Trump and Pompeo for, having the guts, I guess you'd say, to go for a deal like this when the chance of success is very, very low. But, God bless them. I hope they're successful at it, but I don't see it. Maybe it'll happen. I hope it happens, but I just don't. I wish I could say, yeah, there's a decent chance, but I honestly would be lying to you. I would be lying to you. I don't think that there is a good chance that North Korea is going to give up their nukes. I don't know if there's anything you could offer them for them to give up their nukes. I could see them agreeing to inspections. I could see them to agreeing to opening up their economy somewhat. But I don't see a complete sea change in North Korea from what they have now into a free market economy, opening up to the world and the whole 9 yards. And it's too much change too fast. I don't think that the people there could adapt to it that quickly. this is a very long-term plan, and it seems to me the best way to get there, and this may be decades beyond even Trump. It may be 20 years away. But if we could establish a reasonably good relationship with North Korea, have some trade, have some commerce, help get them to join the world community to some extent. I don't mean the New World Order, but I mean the actual community of nations that at least have some degree of openness with their government. If they could have reunification into the Korean War, there's a lot of good things that could happen. That would try to bring them in as a friend and a trading partner. Establish that, get that going, allow that to work for a while, build some confidence, build some trust, and then work on the larger issue of disarmament on the Korean Peninsula. That is how I would see this thing going. I just don't see how you can, in such a short period of time, get the North Koreans to accept a complete 180-degree sea change in their economy and how they run the country, and at the same time give up their nukes. It just seems like an extraordinary leap that I think I just don't know if the world works quite that way. And I admire Trump and Pompeo for trying, and I give them a lot of credit, but I'm not surprised that Trump ended the summit early with no deal, and that they could not agree on what appears to be the definition of denuclearization. And apparently that was the issue. Apparently Kim Jong-un has one definition of denuclearization, and Trump has another. And I don't consider this a failure in foreign policy on Trump's behalf. We're still way better off in the situation with North Korea than we've ever been. It's definitely, relations have improved, and I think that certain measures could be taken that it could continue to improve and do better, and maybe there'll be some trust and confidence building that happens in the next couple of years, and some deal can be possible. But I'm just trying to be a realist here and be honest with you. I don't know how a complete flip in North Korea happens, how they flip 180 degrees from what they are to a free market capitalist country, giving up their nukes, falling in love with the world or anything. People are driven by interests, and when you have a open system, free market system, a capitalist system, if you're a dictator, you're giving up complete control of the country. I mean, you're giving up something. And I don't know what's in it for Kim. He's fine. He's not starving. He's doing great. So for him personally, what's in it for him to gain? Now, if he cared about the people in North Korea, that would be different. But he doesn't. He doesn't care about those people in North Korea. So, I'm not surprised that Trump left the summit early with no deal, and that, as is usually the case when you're dealing with North Korea or Iran or some of these players, there's a lot of trickery that goes on, a lot of definitions of words. We mean this, and we say this, we mean this. You say this, you mean that, but we don't mean the same thing. We're saying the same thing, but we mean something different. So this is the typical type of thing you run into. It's a very, very difficult thing that Trump and Pompeo are trying to do here. I admire him for that, but again, I don't see it as a failure. I think Trump did the right thing. It's not the deal he wanted. He walked away. I admire him for that. The easiest thing it would have been for him to do would have been sign the deal and take credit for a huge foreign policy victory. But in this particular case, I think he did the right thing. And like I said, the only thing is, maybe he can pull off a miracle, but in my mind, the rational part of my mind says that there's no deal to get North Korea to completely give up their nukes anytime soon. I don't know what you can offer them to do that. I just don't. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Trump-Kim summit. I guess I can say I was correct that Kim was not going to give up his nukes. So I guess I can say I was correct about that. I'm not happy about it. I wish I was wrong about it, but turns out I was right, unfortunately. So yeah, that's basically what happened. Trump ended the summit early. There was no deal. He said they could not agree on the definition of denuclearization, and that North Korea wanted all the sanctions lifted. but of course they would not. They could not find the agreement. So anyway, that's how it went. We'll see where it goes from here. Let's move on. Well, it appears that the former Attorney General in Ottawa, Canada, is claiming that Justin Trudeau interfered in the prosecution of a Quebec contractor who is being brought up on corruption charges. This conservative opposition leader in Canada, Andrew Scheer, is now demanding that Trudeau step down. It also appears that the Attorney General was demoted or moved out of her position, is now in some other position, and now she is, I think, willing to testify against Trudeau and lay out the case for how he tried to obstruct her investigation on this for this prosecution of this Quebec contractor. So I understand there's some smoke here. Maybe there's a fire. I don't know. But it's probably the last thing that Trudeau needed. It's not like he's doing great in the polls these days. It's not like the Canadian economy is going like gangbusters. So he's not quite as unpopular as Macron. He's not having quite the rough ride that Macron is having. But certainly Justin Trudeau's honeymoon is over. And basically, I think he's in for a tough road. And there were some, quoting it in this article, that suggests that this could be a real serious problem. This could force him to step down. At this point, he is refusing to step down and saying that this is all overblown and that he wasn't, trying to, stop the investigation or the prosecution or whatever. But, I guess if he's got the Attorney General who is handling the situation willing to testify, I don't know what kind of witnesses or evidence that she has, but, if there's witnesses and evidence, it's, overwhelming beyond a reasonable doubt, then certainly Justin Trudeau could find himself being forced to resign. And that would probably be a very good thing for Canada, as long as they don't replace him with another Nimrod like him. So that's what's going on there. Here's some good news. Many videos ago when we were talking about these civil lawsuits that were being filed against Christopher Steele and BuzzFeed, and of course these things go on for many months and sometimes years, I remember telling you on a couple of YouTube videos to watch these civil suits, because ultimately when a civil suit finally does come to an end, typically at some point the information from the documents and things from that particular case become public record. And I said that we would probably end up learning a lot of things, and we have learned a lot of things from these civil court proceedings, particularly from the depositions that we've had. Steele's given 2 depositions. We've gotten bits and pieces of both of those, but not the full depositions or depositions from anyone else. So here we have, in this case that was just decided, the BuzzFeed case was just decided about 2 or 3 months ago. The judge there, Ursula Ungaro, ruled that BuzzFeed was okay with publishing the dossier because it was newsworthy. So BuzzFeed won the case, essentially. Christopher Steele is not having so much luck in the UK because his situation's really much different. But it appears that the federal judge in this Florida civil case, Ursula Ungaro, who decided this case, has ordered the release of depositions given by Christopher Steele and David Kramer. John Magoo, Senator Magoo, the late Senator Magoo's former right-hand man, who, by the way, gave the dossier to BuzzFeed. And, of course, we learned that from this civil case. Now, the depositions are going to be released on March the 14th. The depositions will likely shed more light on how the dossier was compiled and disseminated to U.S. government officials and the media. So, in about 2 weeks, we are going to have these made available to the public. And these were, I remember, a lot of the questions that Gubarev's attorneys had for BuzzFeed and for David Kramer. And there's a lot of things there, that questions they were asking, that members of Congress were asking, we were asking, many other YouTubers were asking. And so those questions in those depositions were answered. And so we're finally going to get some more answers. And I'm really interested because Christopher Steele was forced at some point to disclose who he describes these intermediaries and these collectors as who he got the information from. And I believe these documents are probably going to tell us the names of the individuals who were the collectors and the intermediaries. We're probably also going to get more information about exactly what the collaboration was with David Kramer. And of course, he's working for Senator Magoo. So we're going to learn more about the collaboration between Kramer, the media, and Christopher Steele himself, and possibly members of the government. Maybe Kramer was feeding stuff into the FBI. Maybe Kramer was feeding stuff to the CIA. Maybe he was getting stuff pumped from the Ukrainian government. So we're going to learn a lot of things. Very, very important. So we'll be looking out in the next 2 weeks for this release of the depositions from the BuzzFeed versus Gubarev case being released. The depositions of Christopher Steele and David Kramer. We're going to learn a lot more about how the dossier was compiled and how it was disseminated. Be looking forward to that. Yes, I will. Well, it looks like Adam Bug-Eyed Fool Schiff is going to now call the CEO of the Trump Organization in to testify. He'll never stop. Schiff will never stop. The entire next 2 years, while he is the head of the House Intelligence Committee, he will just subpoena one person after another. It will never end. It doesn't matter if there's any there. If there's any evidence of anything, the Mueller investigation will clear Trump. The House has cleared Trump. The Senate's cleared Trump. That's okay. Adam Schiff will come back and start another investigation. They'll simply go after something else. No Trump Russia collusion? Okay, well, how about Trump business dealings? How about Trump's tax returns? How about this and that and the other? It will never end. It doesn't really matter what it is. They'll find something to investigate about Trump. Question is, does this benefit them or does it backfire on them? Well, there's evidence to show that in the past, when you run these type of purely political investigations, people tire of it, especially when you get 3-4 years into a presidency, and especially if the president's popular and his economy is good and he's doing a good job, then people have a problem with it, you might say. So, yes, it's frustrating, it's maddening, but Adam Bug-Eyed Fool Schiff may be, doing more harm than good to himself and to his party coming into the 2020 election. So this is nothing for us to be surprised about, and I'm sure the CEO of the Trump Organization is pretty smart. I doubt if he's going to give Schiff anything, and I don't expect anything will come of it, just more political theater and a chance for Schiff to grandstand to try to create a false impression that there's a reason for some sort of impeachment. Because remember, impeachment hearings are absolutely, positively the political strategy for the Democrats to win in 2020. Their strategy to win in 2020 is Trump impeachment hearings in the Congress or investigations into Trump to get the garbage they need to try to get some sort of impeachment. At least a vote, which they can probably get the impeachment vote in the House. It's just that when it goes to the Senate, it will die. Unless you have a bunch of turncoat Republicans, which is always possible. But anyway, that's what we have going on there. Let's see. Yesterday, I told you that Michael Cohen made a huge mistake by testifying in front of Congress because really the only thing he got out of it was two things. Essentially, he debunked the dossier. He pretty much cleared Trump of obstruction. And he acquired another criminal referral. Well, it looks like today he's acquired a second criminal referral, this one for perjury to Congress. It appears that Jordan and Meadows have now filed a petition with the Department of Justice for a second criminal referral against Cohen for perjuring himself in those hearings. Well, speaking of, things going on relating to impeachments and things and such, it appears that Benjamin Netanyahu, good old Netanyahu, has now been indicted on bribery and fraud charges, which of course he is denying. Now, this has been going on for quite a while. Actually, his wife was the target for the longest time, and I'm not sure if she beat the rap. I assume she did because I've never heard about her being sent to jail. But now it looks like they've got Netanyahu. He's been around for a long time. Probably time for him to go. If he's not guilty, he probably still should go. He's just been around too long, and I'm not a big fan of Netanyahu. But anyway, if this could be just a witch hunt like what we see going on here. It could be going on in Israel. I don't know. I don't keep up with Israeli politics. I don't know if there's anything to this or not. But he has been indicted on bribery and fraud charges. We'll see what comes of it. But either way, Netanyahu, I'm no big fan. I could really care less what happens to Netanyahu. Just thought you'd like to know. There was a story yesterday in the Daily Caller about the fact that Michael Cohen is a rat, and that the worst thing that you can be in prison is a rat. They don't like rats in prison. As soon as they realize that you're someone who's a rat, they generally, beat you up or something, or kill you or something, because they don't like rats around them, because they do a lot of things. The inmates are involved in a lot of things. They don't want a rat running around. And so it's suggested that when he gets to prison, he could face some serious issues, because he'll be coming into prison being known as a rat. But I think the thing to keep in mind here is he's not going to be going to a maximum security hardcore prison, especially since he's cooperating with the Southern District of New York on some sort of other charges that they're going to try. See if they can't impeach Trump through Congress, then they're going to try to file some sort of charges on him from the Southern District of New York having to do with his taxes or his business or something. And Michael Cohen is likely cooperating there. And we know from the hearings that he has been told that if he helps them, that they will help him with his little prison sentence. So I can just about guarantee you that as long as Cohen says the things that they told him to say, and it appears he's doing that, then they will do something for him. And I'm thinking they'll get him out of jail in probably a year, and they'll make sure that he goes to a minimum security country club prison. It won't be like hardcore prison, with hardcore murders and rapists and people like that. He's going to go somewhere with people, white collar crime, people serving 2 or 3 years, Club Med. Michael Cohen's not going to go to a hardcore lockup or anything like that. It'll probably be a federal prison, but it'll be probably a minimum security or medium security prison. It's not going to be like what a lot of people think. It's not going to be like that. So anyway, I don't think he has much to fear. He's going probably to a place where they send white collar criminals and guys who are rich. Guys, remember, he's cutting a deal with the Southern District of New York. They're going to act on his behalf and make sure that he gets a sweetheart deal. And in fact, if he can deliver on something that might, cause Trump to be impeached or indicted or something like that, hell, probably get him off completely. That's the deal he's got. Give us something on Trump that'll bring down Trump, and we'll take good care of you. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. Okay, you're not going to believe that. Well, actually, you will believe this. Okay, in this day and age, normally I would say you're not going to believe this, but you actually will believe this. So we all have heard and we all know about this governor of Virginia, Mr. Governor Northam, whatever his name is, does the blackface thing, posing with the KKK guy in a college yearbook. That was coming on the heels of announcing, or on a radio show describing the process of how you conduct a abortion after the child's been born. And with all the other things going on around him, you would think that would be enough to wake someone like that up. He should certainly be thrown out of office, in my opinion, just not so much because of the blackface or the college photo. I mean, I could really give a damn about that. It's the talking about, aborting a child after it's born. That's my problem. But as crazy as all that is, and the fact that he's surviving it, that's because he's a Democrat. If he were a Republican, he would have been gone day one. But here you go. Apparently, not only is he a dumbass, his wife is possibly dumber than he is, although she did keep him from moonwalking. But here we find out that this first lady, his wife, the first lady of Virginia, Ralph Northam's wife, offered cotton to black students during a tour of the governor's mansion because she thought it would be a good lesson, a good history lesson of slavery in Virginia. And she wanted the black children who she gave the balls of cotton to imagine picking cotton as slaves. Pam Northam is her name. Remember that for Dumbass of the Week. Because, my friends, unless something really, really, really good comes along, that's my pick for Dumbass of the Week. You're the First Lady of Virginia, the governor's wife. You have a bunch of black kids come in to the governor's mansion. All you had to do was say, "Hi, kids," give them some candy, show them around, take a few pics, and then it's easy. You can't F that one up. You can't F that one up. All you got to do is be there, smile, take some pics, hand out some candy, and be nice. No. Much too hard for screw-ups like the Northams. Clearly, these people should be knocked out of office or driven out of office because of their stupidity. They're too stupid to be the governor and the First Lady of Virginia. That's scary. These are some very, very stupid people. Dumbasses. All she had to do, take a few pics, a few smiles, pass out some candy. Easy job. Easy job. Any of us could do it. I could have done it. But no, not Pam Northam, the governor's wife. She had to break out let's give the students, the black students, a lesson on the history of slavery in Virginia. How long ago was that? Pretty long time ago. Is it really necessary? I mean, we're pretty well aware of the fact that there were slaves in Virginia 150 years ago. Everyone knows that. It's part of American history. Do a bunch of school kids need to be, pounded over the head with it like this? And how stupid is it to think that it's a good idea to go up to the black kids as they're coming through the tour and say, here's a couple of cotton balls. I want you to look at these cotton balls and hold on to them, and every time you see these cotton balls, think about yourself as a slave picking cotton. Oh my God. Man, these people there's something wrong with these people. I'm serious. There's something wrong with these people. He's a doctor. Imagine she's got some profession. There's some serious problems in this country, man. I don't know what to think. I mean, I'm watching things going on around me. The Green New Deal and the crazy stuff that I'm seeing and hearing things in the last couple of years, just really since Trump was elected. I mean, that I've never seen before in this country. I've never seen this country this unhinged, and people doing and saying the most insane things. I mean, this is just. I mean, you could go find you could walk up to the average person in Walmart and make them the First Lady of Virginia for the day, or any governor's ex-wife, and they would handle this situation better than that. What in the world was she thinking? Did she think this through? I know that black kids are coming today. I'll give them a ball of cotton and tell them to hold on to that and imagine themselves as being slaves picking cotton. I think that's a great idea for the kiddies. I just don't know, man. This world's getting crazier and crazier. I mean, Trump derangement syndrome, maybe. At some point, there's going to have to be someone, again, we just talked about this about 2 weeks ago, the clinical diagnosis. There's definitely something going on. I was joking for all that time, joking about Trump derangement syndrome. I'm starting to think it's real. I'm starting to think that Trump actually has done something that's triggered something in the processes of the brains of certain liberal type people that they really are sick. I mean, someone definitely needs to invent a serum, an antibody, a treatment, something, because I've just never. This is crazy stuff. I mean, this is not. This is not. Misspeaking. This is not anything like that. I mean, this is premeditated. She had to think about this. She had to go get the cotton balls. You know, as you're going to get the cotton balls, do you think, I think I'll go get some cotton balls and give them to the black children when they come in and tell them to imagine every time they look at this cotton ball, themselves picking cotton during the times of slavery. I mean, whew. It's getting really bad, my friends. It's almost time to circle the wagons. Don't know where we're going to meet. Maybe we'll meet down at the tarmac in South Carolina. We'll just pack up everything and meet down there and circle the wagons. Find some patriots to join us, and we'll, you know, it'll be like the Battle of Little Bighorn. We'll hold out for the last stand, the last piece of real estate in America that hasn't gone completely effing nuts. We're surrounded by crazy people, and they're getting crazier by the day. And some of them vote. A lot of them vote. That's what scares me. These people can vote. Well, it looks like Madam Botox was asked again very directly about the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal. And Pelosi shot it down. She said basically, well, the Green New Deal is not what we hope to achieve. And then she said, and things that are not even about the environment. We want to fix the environment, but in the Green New Deal, there's things like single payer and guaranteed income. What is that? So here you even have Madam Botox from one of the most liberal districts in the entire country, if not the world, herself questioning single payer. She's basically already been shouted down several times, giving speeches basically saying, hey, single payer, that sounds great, but it ain't going to happen. It would be a disaster. She's like, I'm a liberal Democrat. I'm telling you, single payer ain't doable. It ain't doable. Guaranteed income. She's like, guaranteed income? What the hell is that? Even Nancy Pelosi thinks that's nuts. When Nancy Pelosi thinks it's nuts, it's really nuts. My oh my. I told you it was going to be a lot of fun after the Democrats won the midterms. I said, Nancy Pelosi is going to have her hands full trying to contain these crazies. And that's exactly what is happening. I don't think she is able to control them. I really don't. And I think as we go closer to 2020, you're going to see more outrageous, crazy things like this coming out of liberals, commies, socialists, whatever you want to call them. We have the 2020 Democratic primaries, which are bound to be a complete freak show, automatically, just because of the characters involved. And we're going to have a lot of laughs. We are going to have a lot of laughs. But while we're having a lot of laughs, let's not take too lightly this whole push for socialism, which is just communism to me. I mean, I don't differentiate between the two. Any form of collectivism to me is a bad deal, and everything ends up in hardcore tyranny and destruction. So, you know, we need to take this seriously. I mean, we make a lot of jokes about it here, and you guys joke about it a lot in the comments section, and that's fine. We're having fun with it. But let's keep in mind, Bernie Sanders has got a lot of support out there. He's not going to win because he can't win in the South. He can't win in the Southwest. He can't win very much in the Midwest. I think he would lose probably 43 states. I think he may win 6 or 7 states in a national election against a decent candidate like Trump. But I don't think it. I honestly don't think that Sanders will be the nominee. I think the Democrats will throw in a ringer and screw Bernie the way they did last time. Even if he was the most popular and got the most, delegates, they would find a way to screw him. I'm absolutely 100% certain of that. The Democrats are not going to allow Bernie to be the nominee. I just believe that to be the case. And the way their party works, they actually can stop it. The Republicans, the way their party works, they really couldn't stop it. It caught him, it blindsided him. Trump caught him, asleep at the wheel. But the Democrats are quite, they know exactly what's going on. They've seen this act before, and they're already working on destroying Bernie. I just don't see it happening. I see either Biden or Clinton, or they pull a ringer out of their hat, which I think could be Holder, or maybe, they may get behind some other Democrat. I don't know, but not going to be Bernie, in my opinion. And this stuff's crazy, man. So we're going to have a lot of laughs, but as I said, as we're laughing, let's not we should also, at the same time, we should take very, very seriously the threat of the rise of the hardcore commie left. Better take it seriously. There's enough of these people out there that we better be paying attention and battling them every day. Alrighty, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with more TowerGate. See you guys. Bye.